Hello there, and welcome to the Melanin Method YouTube channel. My name is Erin Ates. I'm a licensed esthetician and owner of Erin Ates Aesthetics based in Dallas, Texas. If you are an aesthetic student, a licensed esthetician, or even an aspiring esthetician, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel because both of these were made for you. Today's video is part 1 of my new series called Journey to Going Solo, where I will be talking about building a brand awareness, building a brand package, and social media presence. Alright, now let's start with building a brand. The first thing that you need to do before you even start this video is to make sure that you have a name for your solo aesthetics business. When I was trying to come up with the name The Melanin Method, I literally sat down and wrote a bunch of words that had meaning to me but was still relevant to the aesthetics industry. I then went on Google and searched a bunch of different random name generators and came up with a bunch of different usernames. I narrowed down my searches down to 10, and then I asked about 25 different people what they thought about my business name. I had them all vote on one. I then created a table to show the top 3 choices among the people that I surveyed. And here we are with the Melanin Method. Now onto the topic of logos. I highly suggest getting inspiration for your logo off of Pinterest. Zazzle is really good too, Canva, and even your other fellow SC friends. I personally took inspiration from Pinterest for my logo idea, and I created the whole thing straight from my iPhone. There are so many great apps out there that will help you create your ideal logo, but I highly recommend Canva or the Over app. If creating your business logo is something that you don't feel confident in doing, I also suggest you check out sites such as Fiverr or Upwork, and you can hire freelancers to create your logo for you. And those websites have really good prices for even the lowest of budgets. So whenever you're creating your logo, it is super important to have 3 different types of logos. You want to have a primary logo, a secondary logo, and a watermark, or sometimes it's called a submark logo. For example, my primary logo simply just has my business name, which is Erin Ates Aesthetics, and my cute little business emblem. I use this primary logo for anything that solely has to do for my business and my business only. My secondary logo is basically my primary logo. I've just added an arch of text that says The Melanin Method. I use the secondary logo for content that involves my solo aesthetics business and also my presence that I have on social media. So when I'm combining the Melanin Method and Erin Ates Aesthetics, like I am for this YouTube channel, I would use my secondary logo when branding. My watermark logo is specifically for branding my photos or my content on Instagram. For example, if I have a good before and after photo, I would put that really small watermark logo right in the corner. My watermark logo incorporates the main aspect of my primary and secondary logo, which is what I consider my business emblem. Okay, so now that your name and logo are decided, let's talk about building brand awareness. When it comes to building a good brand awareness, you want to make sure that your brand stands out. I am not trying to knock anyone down, but there are so many solo estheticians out there whose brand colors are pink, white, and gold. The same issue goes for those cute, pretty infographics that literally every esthetician makes. However, there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing those 2 things I just listed. You just need to be doing something that's going to help you stand out. Whether that be you're known for doing really good explanatory IGTV videos, or maybe you're really good at making funny Instagram reels, or you have super engaging story posts. My point is, you need to be unique in all aspects of your branding, especially when it comes to social media. The second most important thing to building good brand awareness is being consistent with everything throughout your brand. This means having a consistent color scheme, consistent fonts, and even a consistent style and aesthetic. And all of this needs to stay consistent through your social media content, your website, your booking site, your logo, your advertising, etc. And luckily for you, I have just the tool to help with creating your very own brand consistency. And that tool is a branding package. A brand package will include your color scheme, fonts, and your style or aesthetic. When you are deciding on a color scheme, I suggest picking 3 colors. 1 color to be your primary brand color, a second color to be your secondary brand color, and a third color to be your tertiary brand color. For example, my primary color is this gorgeous blue turquoise you see on this back wall behind me. It is all over my social media platforms. I use it for filming in the background of my videos, and I also use this color primarily in my logo. My secondary color is white. I use white in majority of my infographics that I create on Instagram, and I also use it to furnish in my suite. The secondary color is the second most color that you see in my branding. For my tertiary color, it's kind of two colors, but they're the same. I use black and gray. I mainly use the black in my infographics for large bodies of text, and I use the gray throughout my suite. The next thing you want to be included in your brand package is your fonts. Again, you should have a primary font, a secondary font, and a tertiary font. The primary font should just be for your titles and your heading. For your secondary font, you want that to be for your subtitles or subheadings. And your tertiary font should just be for bodies of text. The last thing that should be included in your brand package is your style and aesthetic. For this, I personally just created a Pinterest mood board of some of my favorite styles and aesthetics. For example, I would describe my style as a very handwritten look. I only like line work for my artwork and my graphics. I love a minimal, simple layout, and I like everything to look clean and modern. And these are the words that I play over and over and over again in my head whenever I'm creating my graphics or any sort of social media content for my social media platforms. I know that having a brand package might seem unnecessary, but to me it saved me so much time and it's helped me be so consistent across all boards of my branding. I want people to know that when they see that little head emblem or when they see my signature color, they know that it's Erin Eights Aesthetics. When they see that font, they know that it's Erin Eights Aesthetics or the Melanin Method. They don't have to research and go find out and figure out whose page is this. The more consistent you are with your branding, the easier it will be for people to find you. All right, now let's move on to building a social media presence. The first thing that you should do before you start creating any sort of content is trying to establish who your ideal client is. The questions that you should ask yourself when you're trying to figure out who your ideal client is should be, what lifestyle does this client live? Where does this client like to spend their money? What brands does this client wear? What car does this client drive? Where does this client live? Where does this client like to shop? What type of relationships and friendships does this type of client have? Who does this client follow on social media? And the list can go on and on and on and on. But having this sorted out can make it so much easier when you're trying to create content for your social media platforms. So once you have a good idea of what you should be posting, start posting. Do it right now. Don't be afraid to post on your social media platforms. It's always going to be a trial and error. You just have to find what works best for you and works best for your following. And in my opinion, the best time to start posting if you're trying to become a solo esthetician is while you're in school. This is because you would have a plethora of content from before and after photos from practicing on clients or even practicing on your classmates. For me, when I was in school, I was more focused on creating informational graphics. It not only was a lot of fun for me, but it also was a super great way for me to gain knowledge outside of school. For me, it was almost like a form of studying. However, don't make the same mistake I did and post educational content for months. Too much of this educational infographic type of content is not going to attract your ideal client. You're actually just going to attract a whole bunch of other estheticians. And if you're using your social media platforms such as Instagram to attract and find and build a clientele, you need to post content that your clientele is looking for and what your clientele wants to see. For example, types of content that your clientele might be more engaged in would be facial demos. Maybe you make a post or a quick video listing your favorite products and why. Or maybe you're listing your favorite ingredients or the best ingredients for acne or hyperpigmentation or aging. Moreover, you need to create content that's going to speak to your ideal clientele. Not to sound harsh, but the clientele that is following you on your social media platforms is not really following you for you. They're following you because they think that you have something to offer them. They believe that you are able to fix their problems or address their concerns. Along the lines of posting content, make sure you're actually posting your content consistently. So not only is your brand consistent across your content, but you're also posting your content consistently and on a schedule. Personally, I plan out all my content on Trello and I schedule to post all my content using an app called Planoly. I also try to have all my content completed no later than a week before I plan to post it, so I'm always a week ahead. If you would like to see exactly how I do this with Trello and Planoly, please leave a comment down below telling me that you're interested. Alright you guys, that is all I have for you in today's video. I really hope this video helped you, and I really hope that you enjoyed it as well. In next week's video, I will be going over part 2 of the Journey to Going Solo series, where I will be discussing how to make your business legal. And if you made it this far into the video, you obviously liked it. So go ahead and like the video and subscribe to my channel because I wouldn't want you to miss next week's video. Again, I love you all so much. I will see you next week, and bye guys.